Hey everyone, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today we're going to get back to some of the work that we're doing for the space station. I am going to be adding an escape pod system to the space station because, I don't know, I just would rather not have Kerbals dying and stuff. So what that means is we're going to have to rethink. We're not going to have to rethink. We're going to have to do a little bit of experimentation. I've downloaded this pod here called the Dragon Rider capsule. It's an excellent pod. It actually holds 7 Kerbals, which is really cool. It has its own engines. It has a built-in docking port. It's a pretty full-featured thing. The IVA on it's not very good. The interior looks like crap, but I'm sure that will get fixed at some point. And then I also downloaded a specific escape pod, which is itsy-bitsy compared to this thing. It's very tiny. So these are the two that I'm really considering for the space station. The advantage of this one, the Dragon Rider capsule, is that it is huge and that it will... I only need, 2 of them to bring everybody home. There's a lot more parts that are going to be needed to make this one work, although it does have its own engines and stuff, so I think it will still be able to deorbit itself and all that. But it does need... each one of these only holds 1 Kerbin, and then we need a parachute on each one, which ends up being like 10 pods, I guess, will be what we need, where we would only need 2 of these. So we're going to launch both of these up into space and try them out to see which one I like better. We need to go ahead and make them actually capable of re-entering the atmosphere safely though first. So let's add, I don't know, like 3 parachutes, because this thing's pretty honking huge and heavy. So I just want to make sure that it does not crash. Alright, that ought to work. Let's go ahead and... I guess we'll just put the other one directly on top. Will this decoupler work? Is that going to work like that? No, it will not work like that. That ought to work. And this one has its own fancy special parachute, which is pretty cool. It also has these little lights that it came with, like a little strobe light and stuff, but I don't like those so much. But go with that. I'm going to have to transfer a crew member out of this thing once we get up into orbit, though, aren't I? I am. Oh well. So let's just shove a rocket under this and get up into orbit and try it out and see what happens. I guess we can just use the regular... Is this the right one? That ought to work, right? We're going to have to make a couple modifications to it, though. Because this pod's pretty darn heavy, I believe. So let's first of all... I don't want the little fuel pods there. Let's figure out how we're going to get those off. I need to be able to place this for a second to do that. I guess the easiest thing to do is just going to be shove one of these under here. Put this up there like that. Delete those. Then we can do that. Get rid of that. And actually get rid of all this. So what do we need then? We need an adapter of some sort. And a decoupler. So where is a ginormous decoupler? That's not really ginormous, but I suppose it will work. I don't know, that looks kind of right to me. Let's make sure we actually put a radio on this thing, because this is going to be automated on the way back down. I also need to put a remote tech pod, which just glitched into that, which I didn't want it to do. There we go, that ought to work. Let's, out of an abundance of caution because of what happened with the space telescope, let's just put a couple of these things on here. Just because you never know what silliness is going to end up happening now that this aerodynamics mod is installed. I don't know how I feel about the aerodynamics mod, frankly. It seems to have just kind of broken some stuff. I downloaded it because I wanted space planes to actually work more correctly, because the aerodynamics in this game are awful as they are, but it kind of seems like it's just screwing stuff up. That's not even attaching. What if we go this way? Okay, that seemed to work. And we'll do that too. That ought to hold something together there. And I want Mr. Mechjeb on board. We only need 1 of these. I don't know why I keep putting them on in symmetry, because that screws everything up. Put fix the fuel line. That gets screwed up every single time, along with this strut over here, which also gets screwed up every time. All my staging is a little bit jacked up here. Let's just put everything kind of up in the top stage here. And we want this to separate first, so that's in the right stage, and then followed by that in the next stage. So we need to make another stage where everything else just kind of goes, and we'll figure out the deployment of everything later because I'm going to be manually doing most of that. That looks like it ought to work right, and we will call this escape test. And my caps lock is on, so it's all screwed up. Nice. Escape test. There we go. Alright, I feel good about this. Except that I want to lower you down. Alright, cool beans. Let's do this. Fingers are crossed that the what's it called? The FAR mod isn't going to screw up this rocket, but I kind of have a feeling it will. We're going to go ahead and launch into an orbit of, let's say, 240. I want to be like about where the space station will be, so we'll actually get accurate information about how this will perform at those altitudes, but I don't want to leave debris in the orbit of the space station, so we'll go a little under it. And let's hope and pray that things go well. This is sort of aerodynamically shaped. Again, it's accelerating. I think it's just ignoring my terminal velocity warning thing to not accelerate faster in terminal velocity. We're still under terminal velocity now, but I think it's just gonna pass right by this. Is this thing not MechJeb approved? Yeah, we are definitely passing right by, so I cannot even manually throttle down because MechJeb's in control of the throttle. That's not good. We're going to go spiraling out of control probably again, and we're wasting fuel too. I thought this was supposed to fix the drag stuff. Yep, and there she goes. Stayed in control. It's just doing the gravity turn. Okay, okay. This looks like it's flying a little funny. It's making me nervous, though. Whoa! That was because we were going supersonic when that disconnected. That blew everything up, but the rocket seems okay. I'm gonna have to look into why the terminal velocity thingy is not working. That's very odd. I'm not sure I like the FAR mod. Like I said, the reason I downloaded it was because I was trying to get space planes to work, and allegedly it fixes the lift models and stuff for this game. But it also seems to kind of break some other stuff. So I'm not real sure about that. Unfortunately, I have 7 Kerbals on board this thing, which I probably shouldn't have done just for a test. I should have probably only brought up the 2 that I need, but oh well. Look at the ISA, I mean, the IVA, I should say, in this thing is not very good. They're just kind of floating in space, and there's random windows. That needs some work still, but it's a cool little capsule. It comes with a whole pack. I only installed the capsule because I wasn't interested in the other stuff. I didn't need any of it. I'm trying to keep the random parts down a little bit because I have a lot of random parts these days, so just trying to keep that under control a little bit. I'm really worried about launching space station modules with this FAR mod installed. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm not sure how that's going to work out at all because there's really no way, I mean even with the fairing factory, I don't think I'm going to be able to make fairings that are going to work for those things. Look at that one go. What are you doing, crazy guy? Crazy guy. Alright, so we're going to be circularizing our orbit. I'm going to try to land somewhat near this Kerbal Space Center with these things, I suppose. I didn't put any solar panels on this, so I guess the command pod probably has pretty good battery life, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not as good as you'd think. We won't have Mech Jeb on soon, though, so it'll be a little better. That radio is still using power, though. Alright, so once we get this circularized, I'm going to take a look and figure out kind of when we want to do the escape maneuvers here, because I want to do it in such a way that we can kind of land sort of near the Kerbal Space Center. And we're going to take the little guy first. Alright, so where are we? Kerbal Space Center. Is it in the dark side of the planet now? It sure as heck is. It sure as heck is. So what I'm going to do is we're going to close this down, and I will meet up with you guys once we get around to the light side of the planet again with the Kerbal Space Center. We'll try one of these out. Alright, well, we are coming up on our hopeful deburn here, the deorbiting burn here. Now, where is the crew hatch? I'm going to have to EVA somebody right now. We're out of power. Does that mean the rocket? Yeah, the rocket's still responding because it's crewed. Probably gonna have to. Buzz can go with that. Probably gonna have to take down the rocket with the Dragon pod. Just get it deorbited together, and then we'll sort it out from there. Now there is no ladder on this escape pod, is there? That's gonna make it a little bit harder to get into. There it goes. That was not so bad. Just double check we actually have a crewman in there before we separate. And we do, so let's go ahead and decouple. Alright, now this thing is pretty darn cool looking, I gotta say. It has a better IVA, but it's really just stolen the cockpit out of the little capsule thing, but it's still pretty neat. So where is the Space Center? Let's first of all get retrograde. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, man. Dang, this thing is got some spinniness to it. Okay, so the Space Center's right there. Let's bring up our little Navi ball. And I think the engines are active, right? Maybe not. Do I have to right click and activate the engine? Activate engine. There we go. That looks pretty cool. I like those engines. And what does it have for fuel? It's just got monopropellant and oxygen. Yeah, it's got regular liquid fuel rockets. Okay. So can it deorbit itself, I guess, is the first question here. Why is my orbit increasing? Because I'm facing prograde. Why am I facing prograde? I thought I was facing retrograde. Well, that just, you know, we'll check the safety margins on the fuel, I guess, there. So where do we want to aim this? We're going to be coming in really shallow. Or really steep, I mean to say. We're not going to be coming in shallow. Which isn't a problem because we don't have the deadly re-entry or anything going. It's a little bit of a problem because I'm not sure how this aerodynamics mod is going to affect re-entry, actually. I have not done any of that yet. So let's call that good there. We just want to be close to the Kerbal Space Center anyway. It doesn't have to be on the nose or anything. And I want to burn... I don't know which way, though. I want to burn to move this up just a hair. 100. Let's see what happens with this. That's the opposite of what I want to do. Trying to just wiggle that up a little bit better towards the Kerbal Space Center. So we pass directly overhead. That ought to work. Alright, so hopefully the parachutes are going to work and stuff. I guess the only thing to really do now is get facing retrograde again and just wait for re-entry. Alright, well, we're on our way down. That's our target, so let's go. Whee! Oh my god, this is going to burn up if there was re-entry. We're coming down pretty darn steep. That's not the best. Not the best angle of attack at all. But it doesn't matter right now. We'll have to be better in the future, but... I was going to say, why is the runway out in the middle of the ocean? That was odd. Alright, let's get ready. We should have some re-entry effects happening any second. I'm going to be ready with my screenshot here. This is going to be pretty close to the command center. I like this model a whole lot. I think that's a very good looking escape pod. Now, are we even going to be able to slow down in time to be able to... Oh, God. Save me. Okay, we're slowing down. We're coming in hot, man. Activate the parachute. Where are you, parachute? Oh, God, the re-entry effects... Whoa, we went through the ocean. What just happened? Yeah, I would say that the FAR mod has broken some stuff, because that should have killed him. I couldn't activate the parachute for some reason either. Is he just going to bob up to the surface? He sure is. And he's fine. Sort of. Except that it's underwater. But it worked out, you know? It's floating funny. Huh. I don't know what to make of that. But we'll consider that a successful test. The thing worked. That's the important thing. I am going to have to do something about this mod, because I do think the FAR mod has just kind of broken the system. I mean, I understand I came down really steep and all that, but why did it survive hitting the water? At those speeds, it should have just exploded. That was weird. Well, we're going to have to loop around the planet again, and I'm going to burn a lot more conservatively this time around to make sure that this sort of thing doesn't happen again. Now, this is going to be wholly under its own power because I want to get this rocket down, and the rocket is out of power, so trying to decide how I'm going to manage that. I'm going to burn like super duper far away here. It's going to be hard to really calculate with the rotation of the planet and all that, but let's go ahead and turn around here. I'm going to get this thing at least powered up again. Oh my God. Even with that big pod, it does not have the torque to stop this, apparently. Please stop. Oh, you're going to be facing prograde. That's real nice of you, Rocket. Come on. Let's settle it down. Got a little aggressive with my turning there, but I'm going to need manual control back. The SAS is not helping, so... slow it down. Easy does it. Easy does it. Thing is a beast to control. Anywho, let's get the electrical charge going here again. That's the main purpose of this burn, is just to try to get some electricity up. Well, I guess we're deorbiting with this burn as well, so it'll work. Alright, so let's try that for the actual rocket. We know the rocket's going down, so we can safely decouple. Okay, forget all about that. Now let's activate. Holy crap, there's a lot of settings on this thing. Activate engine. And this thing is pretty squiggly too. And we're going to do a little bit extra of a burn here just to see if the engines work and how they work. Well, they work. They look kind of weird. But it works. Good to know. We are going to also try to correct. That actually goes right over the Kerbal Space Center. We're fine. So, let's just, again, re-enter here. Should get facing the right way. That'd probably be a wise thing to do, wouldn't it? And I can't turn. Why can I not turn? Not enough electrical charge, I guess. Oh well. Well, when we hit the atmosphere, we'll be fine. I'm not going to be able to control the parachutes, am I? This has been a catastrophe. Why did the electrical charge drain so fast from this thing? Yeah, we don't have any solar panel on this thing or anything. They're dead. They are dead, dead, dead. Huh. Holy crap. That's really bad. Oh, the other one survived an uncontrolled re-entry. Who knows what's gonna happen here? Oh man, why did... Shouldn't I still be able to control a manned capsule even if there isn't an electrical charge? I thought that was the advantage of the manned capsules. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Well, so long, 6 guys. It was too bad that we had 6 guys come with us on this. That was definitely a darn shame. And at some point, you would think the atmospheric effects would take over here. Oh, there it goes. That heat shield's kind of cool looking. It's got the dragon scale looking stuff on it. I actually like that heat shield quite a bit. I don't think I like this command pod though. It's going to look weird on the space station because it's so huge. I'm going to have to think about that. Also, I think it's a little overpowered because it only uses monopropellant instead of using rocket fuel, which doesn't make any sense to me considering... Yeah, look, the air doesn't even stop us at all. That doesn't make any sense. That is confusing to me. I think we might have to try to figure out how to get this far mod out of here and reattempt this, because this is ridiculous. Systems in this game were just not meant for this. I mean, that's probably a lot more realistic, actually, looking at it. That looks pretty good to me, but... And I guess if we'd been able to deploy... But you'd have to, like, burn... I mean, you'd have to re-enter on the opposite side of the planet, because if I pulled the chute now, they would probably die. I guess you just have to come in super shallow. Well, here we go. So, that was a mixed bag there, wasn't it? I think I'm going to actually reattempt this, and I'm going to put some batteries on some stuff, because that was a little bit silly. Actually, really, I just need to put solar panels on, and we'll be alright. Solar panel, where are you? I'm just going to throw a couple of these bad boys on here and hope for the best. And why not? You get one too. That ought to work, right? Alright, well, I'll meet you back up there. We're going to try that again. It kind of feels like my rockets use a whole lot less fuel with this farm mod installed, too. I guess they actually reduce the drag and things in the fuselage no longer increase drag, so like the top of this isn't making drag, and the top of this, and the top of this, and the top of this. It's only drag from the nose cone and then things that stick out. It more accurately models drag, but it seems like I used a lot less fuel. I don't know. I have to look into this. I don't know if it's more realistic. It seems like it makes the game easier, kind of, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to get everything set up for deorbiting, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Well, Kerbal Space Center is in the right place still to do at least one of these, so Let's get somebody over to the other module, although it's really dark and hard to see. Is that the crew hatch? That's a crew hatch. So, Buzz, come on. It's going to be you, man. Let's get your little light on so we can actually see what the heck is going on around here. Alright, that looks good. Alrighty, let's go ahead and try to plot how we're going to do this. I think I'm going to probably burn like a full 90 degrees out like as soon as we get here, and then I'll have to overshoot quite a bit because the planet's going to be rotating still. But that way we'll get the most atmosphere possible in all this. So let's do it that way. Let's get to the point I want to be at. It's like having to relearn stuff because of this far mod. I think we'll just get to... Oh man, we're going to be coming into the dark then. Never mind, I'm going to warp around the planet a couple of times. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to warp around the planet. Wait till it's morning because I don't want to come in the dark. I want to be able to see what's happening. Alright, well, I think conditions are favorable now. Yeah, they are. So let's go ahead and, like I said, I think I'm going to burn right about here. Let's go get this thing decoupled. If I can click on the right thing in here. Alright, let's hit. Whoa, fine controls. Why do you always have to turn off on me, fine controls? Where do we actually want to execute this thing? The Kerbal Space Center's all the way over there. Let's get... I have to go activate the engine too. Let's get the engine turned on. Let's start the burn just a little bit, and we can make some finer adjustments to it as we come in. Aero braking is a lot more important with this mod installed. So I think we're going to shoot for right there. Actually, maybe just beyond that as my landing spot and see how that works out. Alright, so that's almost... That is now in the atmosphere. I'm going to go down just a little bit further here. Let's call that good and see what happens. That should give us enough aero braking that we won't just be whipping around the planet forever, I hope. I hope. Alright, let's warp into atmosphere. Where did the planet go? There it is. Alright, let's do this. I'm facing the wrong way. Why am I facing the wrong way? Whoa, major lag happened there. Because it's not lag, it's slow down actually, but people call it lag. Alright, so we're going to be going through the dark side here right first. Let's get our heat shield aligned. Like it really matters, but I'm going to pretend it does. There's the mun. Looking all cool. Now, why did my parachute not want to work last time? We still have tons of electrical charge, so that's not the reason. I don't know. We're just going to hang in here, and I'm going to wait because I know that the parachutes get destroyed in this on this thing pretty easily, so I'm going to wait. So we're still accelerating. That's a little scary. Our periapsis has not even been touched yet. Try to keep that more or less facing the right way. And I think the re-entry effects have really been happening, at about, I don't know, what's been 30,000, 36,000 meters, something like that. So at that point, hopefully we'll start slowing down. Now this thing has a pretty nifty two-stage parachute. I tested the parachute. It has these little arrow brakes that come out. I really like that feature of this thing. And that might make it work better with this mod as well. Let's go ahead and, if I activate the chute, is it going to be okay? I deployed the chute, I think. So it will hopefully do what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it. We need those arrow brakes. I really liked all the details on this thing too. It really does look like an escape pod. It's a very nice model. Very unique looking pod. Alright, we are still accelerating ever so slowly. I think we might be going over this planet more than once here. Periapsis is starting to drop. Apoapsis is still way out of the atmosphere though. We might be going around more than once. Just gotta pray. Okay, here we go. Re-entry. Still accelerating. Seems like with the regular air effects in this game, you start decelerating pretty quick once this happens. We're decelerating a little bit now. Or I guess you call it negative acceleration. Alright, that's slowing down. Nice. This might be a good approach angle, actually. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to really rethink how I do all my re-entries with this mod installed, aren't I? It's like relearning everything all over again. I don't know. I wonder how hot this would be getting if I had any sort of heat. Like the deadly re-entry heat mod or something, I don't know. I know real ships kind of bounce in and out of the atmosphere. Like when Apollo came back, they would kind of bounce off the atmosphere in order to burn off some of this. This looks good though. We're going down. That's almost in the atmosphere. This thing is coming down. And it's losing speed, so this is apparently the vector we have to use for this crap now. I suppose that does make it a little bit more realistic. Okay, we're really losing speed now. Gonna drop short of the space center. Yep, really short of the space center because the planet rotated around us. This makes it even harder to predict where you're gonna land. But I think that worked out pretty darn well, to be honest. I'm pleased. So yeah, look at those arrow brakes. That's what did it. The arrow brakes are really at it. I don't know that they should really be open yet because they'd probably get burned off, but I suppose they're probably made out of tough enough stuff that doesn't matter. Alright, we are gonna be probably falling just short of this continent here. It looks like. Maybe not. What does the map say? Oh yeah, we're gonna fall short of it. Alright, so this escape pod gets some points just for coolness. I really like how those arrow brakes worked. Is the parachute gonna work though, I guess is the next question. Alright, we're almost subsonic now. Nice, I think we're gonna be okay. And the parachute's still just reading as being yellow over there, which I think means it's going to deploy. I hope it means it's going to deploy. I guess it's letting the arrow brakes do more of this stopping, so it's a little more slow, and then I guess we'll see what happens at 500 feet. Or 500 meters, I mean to say. Alright, this is almost survivable. 1,000 meters. And it's not open. There it goes. Alright, it worked. Nice. That was a very survivable re-entry there. Ew. The parachute looks disgusting, though. I like the model, but the parachute does not look that good. Alright, cool. He made it. So I guess I'm kind of getting used to the re-entry-ness of everything. So you just have to take like a crazy long path with this far mod. Alright, so how is the electrical charge? It is perfect. Those solar panels helped. Now where is the Space Center? It's right there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the rocket. I don't even care where this thing ends up. We're just going to deorbit it. Alrighty. We'll just crash it in the ocean. And that would probably be coming down steep enough in real life that it would just burn up. So I feel okay about that. Now, back to this pod. I think we're going to have to go around the planet one more time because I don't like the angle that I'm going to be coming in here at all. So let's warp ourselves around. Now this thing actually gets to be tested appropriately too, so it actually will be using its own engines. Alright, so last time we totally undershot everything. Let's go for a burn starting. Let's go for right here. And get this thing flipped around appropriately as we can. I said fine controls, please. Let's burn off some of this now. Oh, yeah, I gotta activate the engine. Yeah, I don't like the effect of those engines very much. It bothers me that it's just running on monopropellant too. I guess the space shuttle engines ran on, like the orbital engines were monopropellant, pretty much an oxidizer or something, but I don't know. So let's drop our periapsis down to like 22 again, because that worked out pretty well, although the planet's rotating again. Well, we'll go for 20, I guess. That'll work. And just hope and pray that the parachutes will deploy this time. Let's warp till we actually start hitting the atmosphere and see what happens. I think I'm going to be way off of the Space Center, because this, yeah, I'm totally going to be way off the Space Center. Should have burned earlier. Oh, dear God. Lag fest. Alright, this thing does not appear to want to stabilize itself very well. So I'm going to have to manually open the chutes probably on this one. I'm going to wait until I get probably down to 10,000 meters or so. But it kind of depends on how fast we're going too. Because I'm not real sure what the ideal, thought is behind this stuff. Hopefully we don't land on the dark side of the planet. Is it dark over there? Well, we're going towards the Terminator. We might land in the dark. This thing has lights on it though. It's got like 50 billion lights. I can't read any of the menus. That's really annoying. It's got too many options. More than I need. But it does have the volume. It looks really cool too. It just doesn't look as escape poddy to me. It is a really cool command pod though. Alright, so again coming in at breakneck blistering speeds here. Gonna start seeing some reheating at some point. Yeah, this far mod really does change the way you have to think about things. I'm pretty sure it's the far mod that's screwing things up like this. I haven't played Kerbal for a while, and you're used to doing your reentries a certain way, but I guess we're gonna have to rethink everything at some point anyway. Once they enter in with the deadly reentries, and these G-forces someday, I guess, will mean something too. Right now, they really don't matter, but at some point they will. Alrighty. So we're still accelerating. Should start seeing that re-entry stuff happen in a second here. Any second. I think it's pretty much when we hit that part. The medium blue. Yep, there it is. So it's about 32,000. Alright, so some of the speed should... Yep, we're decreasing speed. I like having to do re-entries this way. What is that? What is that? Huh. Nothing shows up on my map as being here, does it? No, that's some unknown debris. That's weird. I wonder what that could possibly be. Let's go ahead and ditch this for a second. I'm going to activate some lights. Landing lights on. Floodlights on. Holy moly, we are coming in fast still. This thing has no aero brakes, so it's a little bit dicier. Definitely don't want to open the parachutes while we're still getting re-entry effects going on, because that's bad news. I'm never going to be able to accurately land a pod with this thing. This is not going to happen. Dang, man. We might not be able to deploy those at 10,000 like I wanted to. This speed doesn't... I need drogue chutes, I think. Well, I do like how much longer re-entry takes like this. Alright, we're coming down to a more reasonable clip here. I think once we get down to around 700, the re-entry stuff will stop. 700 meters per second. Which is still a long way to go. At the altitude that we're losing is not that great. Okay, we're slowing down even faster now, though. The air is really getting thick. There we go. We're precipitously dropping off now. Now we're just going supersonic. I don't want to deploy these chutes, but I don't know how high that mountain is either. Let's do it. That was a lot of G's, but it seems like it's okay. Holy crap, those must be strong strings holding that on. The parachutes have supersonic effects coming off of them. I really didn't want to deploy those while we were still going supersonic, but I don't know how high this mountain is either, so... Alright, that worked out. I think we're going to be fine. That was ridiculous. Alright, and subsonic in a second here. There we go. That was... Oh, God. They ripped off. Alright, so the other thing has some advantages, I would say. Escape pods are nice. The real escape pods are nice because the aero braking really makes a pretty big difference. This FAR mod is so hard to get used to. How the heck am I supposed to get a pod down safely with this thing? I don't know. I just don't know. Well, I think we're probably going to go with the first one because I really did like how that looked better. And by the first one, I mean this one. I like this one. I like the aero brakes that it has. I guess I could probably put that on other stuff too. Yeah, this one seems pretty darn neat to me. So I think this is probably the one we're going to actually go with. So I'm going to have to build something and then we're going to have to launch it. I think we're probably not going to do that today though. Do that in the next episode because I need to rethink how things are actually going to be launched because of the FAR mod, I think too. But anyway, guys, I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.